Here we go. Scriptfella's going to hold up his ridiculous pen. It's a .50 caliber bullet. This is weapons grade. This is weapons grade writing. A glorious stately home glows white against the dark night sky. Pools of light illuminate the great stone walls. Master bedroom, Baxter Mansion. Master bedroom adapted for end-of-life care. Hospital bed monitors. A ventilator feeds a patient's mask. Robert Baxter lies motionless, a huge lump of a man. His lungs fight for every breath. Robert's hand claws its way to the mask, pulls it aside. Leave the past in the past. Bobby Baxter shakes his head. Bold, bulky, frown lines you could bury a body in. Accent true to his Scottish roots. He gets out in 3 days. We got one shot before he disappears. Robert tries to speak, but he has no air to form the words. Agnes Baxter steps out of the darkness, repositions her husband's mask. He gulps in the oxygen. She runs a tender hand down his cheek. Give a thought for Ma. She's been through enough. She can't watch Jake's killer walk free. Robert drifts out of consciousness. Agnes locks eyes with her son. A tear trickles down her face. She gives him a nod. She kisses Robert's forehead and shuffles out of the room. Bobby's head drops. He reaches for the ventilation tube, twists a kink in the pipe. Robert's eyes rock open. Panic! He holds the mask tight to his face. No relief. His body shudders, then stops. Bobby releases his grip, stares at his father's lifeless body, and sobs. His shovel-like hands wipe the tears from his face. A grand staircase leads down to a spacious foyer. Fine art, antique decor, hardened criminals gather in 2s and 3s. Agnes pours whiskey for her guests. Bobby appears on the landing, lumbers down the first few steps. Bobby? He lowers his head. Agnes climbs the stairs to meet her boy. He engulfs her in his massive arms and they grieve together. Tommy Johnson raises a bottle of single malt. A thick scar runs through his gleaming glass eye. To a great man! Everyone joins him in the toast. Bobby composes himself, addresses the room. Yeah, one last request of you. Every eye hones in on Bobby. It's time for Harry Mills to go. The older members glance at one another. Tommy steps forward. Count on us, boss. Agnes smiles, leans in close to Bobby's ear, whispers, find his bairn too. I want Harry to feel what I felt before he breathes his last breath. Bobby steps back, stares, nods his understanding. This is weapons grade. This is weapons grade writing. Just so I don't come across as a complete fanboy, I think the idea, the scene could come from Mobland or it could come from Gangs of London, both shows which I love. There was the other one with Sean Bean, fantastic show. Kin. I think our job is to come up with something new under the sun. If you're saying this is the Scottish version of Kin, I think it reads really well, and I want us to know why. So a glorious stately home glows white against the dark night sky. We don't need dark. Pools of light illuminate. Fantastic. Immediately, Sugar Cube. I think that this scene is a masterful execution of character introductions and exposition. That in 2 pages, we know what the world is. We've introduced the kind of patriarch of the family who's going, the King Lear character. We've introduced his son, presumably, or Bobby Baxter, and Agnes, who's the Lady Macbeth character. We've also introduced Tommy Johnson, who can't wait to get stuck in. There's 4 or 5 characters here, but it's introduced in a dramatic way. They're not sitting, they're not dreaming, they're doing. Who's the main character here, Simon?
Bobby Baxter.
Bobby Baxter. By the way, I would call him something different because you've got Robert Baxter and Bobby Baxter and they sound too similar. So come up with a different tone. Bobby Baxter's a great name, so maybe change Robert Baxter's. But the Sugar Cube, we understand this guy, the dilemma. And straight away, above the fold, we've got some conflict. Leave the past in the past. Look at the voice Frown lines you could bury a body in. I worked with Zach Cox at Circle, and he said the most important thing that he's looking for in a client is voice, and just describing what happens in the movie is not voice. This is voice, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 words. There is 1 hour of training videos in the Scriptfella program where we examine voice in pro writers, and then we look to develop our own voice. Accent true to his Scottish roots. I could have shot you then, but this works straight away. Conflict, big picture works. Tries to speak, but he has no air. And then this is a great cinematic. You can see her, this character lurking in the darkness, and it's tender, and she's in on this kill, this mercy kill. Is it a mercy kill, or is it get him out of the way so we can get revenge? It works for both. And what's great, she's conflicted. One way to create empathy with characters who are gangsters or do bad things is show that they feel bad while they're doing it. And we've got this here. Bobby's head drops. He doesn't want to do it. Twists a kink. Again, we're dropping the pronouns. It reads very quickly. Little haiku bomb. Panic. Holds the mask tight to his face. No relief. Body shudders and stops. Stares at his father's lifeless body. And again, this character who has shovel-like hands and frown lines you could bury a body in. This is a great role. If you're enjoying this class, I've got a Scooby sense that you're going to absolutely love my free 50-minute masterclass. 7 mistakes stopping you getting an agent, manager, or producer. It's essentially a taster class for my paid program, the Scriptfella program, but there are a ton of valuable, actionable techniques that you can take away today. So click on the link and get stuck in. And now we are going to plunge back in to the live dive. Look at the very simple visual. A grand staircase, noun, leads, verb, to a spacious foyer. Fine art, 2 words. We cover haiku and how to use it and how not to overuse it in the Scriptfella program. And look at this, not just criminals, hardened criminals gather in 2s and 3s. She's just given the kill order to her son and she's pouring whiskey. He doesn't walk down the steps. He lumbers. He's carrying the weight of his crime. He lowers his head. Again, he feels shame. You could say he lowers his head in shame, but we don't need to. He just lowers his head. She climbs to meet her boy. Now, I often point out when writers are writing in scene blocking, characters who move from A to B, which they would do on the day in a movie. But there's a difference between scene blocking and scene action. This is scene action. This is absolutely fantastic writing. Introduction, Tommy Johnston. What is the one action? That first impression. He raises a bottle of single malt. There's the description. Thick scar runs through his gleaming glass eye. 1 sentence to a great man. Yeah, one last request to you. I mean, it's weapons grade. It's pro level. Based on these 2 pages, I think you've made a terrific first impression. And I think the writing is outstanding.
Thank you.
Well done.